Welcome back. Yes, my hands are greasy and actually quite large, but they're greasy because today I'm going to show you how I installed a whole new garage operating system. And not just any garage opener, it is the Genie Silent Max. And I know this might seem a little bit out of the box, but you guys, I don't just DIY projects, builds, and home decor, I DIY all of my home maintenance whether I know how to do it or not. I'm really excited to bring you this whole new series, and it's because I've partnered up with Home Depot all of 2018 to review some smart home tech that you really didn't know that you needed. How fitting is it that the first product of this whole series has to do with my recently made over garage. So I have to step up and I gotta get down and dirty with all this stuff if I want our house to run a little bit more smoothly. I've had enough of the rambling, my hands are very dirty, this is right after the project, it was so intense, but let's just get started. I'm gonna be walking you through some tips and tricks to install this Genie Silent Max smart garage opener alongside this keypad system by Genie as well. I'm not gonna lie, I was super intimidated after opening this box, and you're gonna see why in a minute, but I was super pumped because it did say easy installation and it had an app. I started having a mini panic attack when unboxing all of this because it just looked very overwhelming for a first timer. I definitely relaxed once I realized that everything was color coordinated per each instruction, and then also the fact that there was just pictures. I'm such a visual person. I gathered my tools, I had my helper, and I just dove right in. First step is to align the pulley in the rail slot and insert the clevis pin, which is this just dowel looking thing, and you put this little bobby pin looking thing in the hole to secure it. You then secure the next hole with a bolt and a nut that is provided in the same bag with this carriage that you also slide on onto this one railing. Grab the remaining railing and you just slide it on into place until you connect all of them, and then you're going to cap it off. Attach the sprocket and the rail guide to the end. Again, it's all in the same bag, and we're going to move on to adding the actual belt. There's a connecting piece for both these bolts, but you're going to start with the door end. It says door on it, and you're going to screw it onto that gold bolt. You're going to feed it through that carriage, which you just flick down that little nozzle, and attach it to the silver bolt and tighten to make sure that the tension is good to go. Moving on to the next step, you're just attaching the sprocket to the base of the power source along with that rail guide. And again, since you're moving on to the next step, this is all going to be in a different color, so you're going to use a different color bag. You don't have to search for any of the pieces. If it is a belt that you are working with, you need to install the belt retainer that is also in that bag. You want to then raise your garage door up. The power should be off completely while you're doing this, so have someone help you with this step. Measure the highest point of what the door goes when it's lifted up. Before installing the new system, I clearly had to take down my old, which is super easy. You just have to remove the nuts and bolts and make sure you have a second person to help you, because you need to just take that down evenly on each side. After that is fully removed, you want to go ahead and measure out the height that we took earlier. Make a little mark right there because that's where we're going to add the support for the end of the garage system. I love that there is grease on the side of my face, but I really was covered in grease head to toe after I was done with this. It was intense. The remaining steps are very easy if you just follow the manual and you make sure you're working within the color coordinated bags. I found myself when I got to this point, it was really just securing the system in place with the pins, bolts, and nuts. When you get to securing the arm portion right here, you want to make sure that that carriage with the red string hanging off of it is 16 inches from the wall consistently. So just keep that in mind. I know that just shifted, but I shifted it back. Keep that in mind when you're securing it in place. If you haven't worked with an electrical or you don't feel comfortable, I do recommend you getting help for the remaining steps, but because I've dabbled in it, the manual was very self-explanatory and it showcases where the wires need to go and be put in place, so I didn't feel too intimidated and I was up for the challenge. My garage already had wiring available for me, so I utilized it. I didn't have to do any new wiring, so if that's what you are planning on doing because your garage does not have it, I recommend thoroughly reading the manual on that section since I did not cover that. I took out my old switch to this garage door and I just replaced it with a new one that was provided in the box, and I did the wiring the same way, and I made sure that those two wires on those two nuts matched the ones on the back of the power source. This was the moment of truth for me. I plugged it in, turned my breaker back on, all the lights lit up, so I was good to go into the programming phase. The most frustrating part about this entire process was programming it, believe it or not.
Hold until flashing, okay? I just, oh my God, please work, please. Why? Wait, I'm nervous now, okay.
Beautiful.
Oh my God, did I do it? Seriously, nothing's breaking? Oh my God, truth moment. Please, God, don't let anything break. Please, 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 please. Oh my God, oh my God. Oh, I'm so nervous, okay. Press and hold the down arrow button. Press, or release down arrow button. What? Press and hold the down until the, I don't know what I just did. This doesn't make any sense.
What you're hearing is the old version of the garage opener. We have 2 garage doors in this, so I wanted to compare it side by side for you. First off, didn't know I needed to clean the top of my garage till now. Secondly, it might not be silent, but it is like 75% quieter than our older one.
I mean, come on.
Now it's time to program this keypad, but first you're gonna need to remove that little tab in order to use it because that's blocking the batteries, Rachel. All you have to do is press 357, then program, and then your code of choice. Press program again, and you're good to go on the remote side. The manual is going to tell you how to walk you through your specific garage system to link it up properly, and now we just got to hang it on the side of the house. Drill 2 holes corresponding with the remotes. They're about 3 inches apart. You're also going to want to add some anchors depending, and then you'll just literally screw the top one in, shimmy the remote onto it, and then screw that second screw directly through the remote into the wall. I just recently made over my garage, and I didn't think it could get any cooler, but adding these 2 things just totally upped it. Just for comparison's sake, this was our old garage opener system. It's about 10 years old. We've never done any work to it, and it just sounded like it was about to snap. Not only is the Genie so compact and sleek just in its appearance, this Silent Max really does live up to its name. Thank you so much once again to Home Depot for sponsoring today's video and also making my garage quieter, which I didn't know was possible. Be sure to check out all of Home Depot's socials below so you can keep up with the smart home tech they're coming out with. If you're interested in upgrading your garage with what I used, I've also linked it for you down below.